Okay, so within this video, we're going to go through everything we know about all of the different game modes within Call of Duty 2020. This is going to be a pretty major video because I compiled a bunch of the leaks that we have seen, specific leaks about stuff in-game within Call of Duty 2020, multiplayer maps, specific stuff we see that was leaked from multiplayer campaign, some zombies information. We've had a couple of different zombies leaks, one being transit on disc for COD 2020, and today we got some more zombies leaks as well for COD 2020. That's very interesting because up until now, we really haven't heard much about zombies. So let's go through the information here. Now, the leaks that we're going to be talking about, I'm not just going to talk about the title. We know it's probably going to be some sort of Vietnam War themed game. We're going a lot more specific than that. So Victor, if you guys remember Victor, he was a Chinese leaker that has been leaking a bunch of stuff for Modern Warfare for over a year now. Victor hasn't said anything since around December of last year, where he said Battle Royale information will come soon. It will come early 2020, something like that. And he didn't really reveal much of Warzone, but he's been leaking stuff for Modern Warfare for a while now. Here are some of the tweets he has. The first one here, I'm just showing this is his Twitter. Obviously, we're going to go through Google Translate here. This is the main tweet, and then a bunch of people were asking a bunch of questions about COD 2020, and he was giving everyone campaign, multiplayer, and zombies information. So his main tweet was, the plot description of the campaign is similar to the previous Black Ops series. The multiplayer is also similar to the previous Call of Duty. Zombies has new ways of playing. It suits me very well. I don't like finding eggs in the map. No need to ask me for specific information I can't disclose. Clearly the translation is a bit messed up here, but let's go through all the different parts of what he was saying here. Let's start off first with just some general stuff, and then we'll go through specifically the 3 game modes. So someone asked, when will we see any teasers? And then he responds, the information I got so far makes me not very interested in COD 2020, so I didn't ask about the game announcement, which is a little weird as to why he's saying that. And then he responds again, oh no, is it bad? At Skizzlax, can you ask for us, please, I beg you? And then Victor responds, it's just that I'm not interested in COD 2020. You can read the information of TGR. He should be very concerned with the new COD. So it looks like, I mean, Victor is leaking information, but he doesn't really seem like he really cares much about Call of Duty 2020. Hopefully the information is still good and he just personally doesn't care, or if the information is bad and he's just like, you know what, this is not hyping me up, I'm not interested in this. So who really knows? There are translation issues here, obviously, but he gives us information regardless for all 3 game modes, and we'll compile this with what we know so far about campaign, multiplayer, and zombies as well. So the first thing here, let's talk a little bit about zombies. Zombies, there obviously is the least amount of information. We know more about the other modes, but I want to talk about this first because I know a lot of people are interested about zombies. So the Game Revolution had his original leak around a month ago talking about zombies for COD 2020. Now this leak went through a bunch of different things. This was the leak where he talked about the new Black Ops reboot potentially being a thing, and he went through a bunch of different stuff from his sources. Now for zombies, he pretty much just said that perks, Pack-a-Punch will be back. Some of those essentials will be brought back into COD 2020 zombies. And there was also another thing that the leaker told the Game Revolution that has something to do with more barriers to play and different ways to play the zombies game mode. And this is actually something that Victor hinted at today as well. The Game Revolution also had another leak from a separate source that he said was less credible, but still was a source, still was a leaker. And the leaker was saying that Transit would be on disc for COD 2020. So just like the Mob of the Dead remake, Blood of the Dead, was on disc for Black Ops 4, Transit, either a remaster or a remake, will be on disc for COD 2020. So if that source is credible, that would be very exciting to see and very cool to see. Now let's go through what Victor is saying here about zombies. Well, someone's asking him, I'm mostly a zombies player, so that's why I'm interested in it. Do you have anything to say about it? Thanks. And Victor responds, zombies has new gameplay, does not mean give up on the old gameplay, which is a little concerning just because of the fact that Black Ops 4 did sort of lose zombies players just because of the fact that they messed up, for one, the perk system and a bunch of other random stuff that if they didn't change it, I think for the most part, people probably would have enjoyed Black Ops 4 Zombies. It had some decent maps, a decent storyline, and it was pretty fun, but they sort of messed up the core gameplay aspect of it, and that's why a lot of people didn't really like Black Ops 4 Zombies. And Victor is saying here, there's new gameplay, doesn't mean give up on the old. Like, the translation is a little weird there. multiplayer, but I'm guessing he means that Zombies itself isn't giving up on its core gameplay, like you're going for the rounds, or I don't know what he means, just, you know, going for the perk system and the pack-a-punch and different weapons on the wall. I guess he's saying the core gameplay mechanics within Zombies is still the same, but there's just new additions to the gameplay mechanics, whatever that means. And then someone goes on to say, does this mean that a lot of gameplay will remain the same? Can I have some news on what's gone and what's staying? Please, Juggernog. And obviously he doesn't get too specific here, but he says the game has not been announced yet. It's too early to discuss these. Good news. I mean, again, the translation is weird, but I don't know if he's referring to good news as, you know, Juggernog returning, or if the gameplay is the same. I don't know. I wish he was more specific on this, but if he's referring to that, I think it's obvious that Juggernog was going to return. Treyarch saw it with Black Ops 4 Zombies. They took out Juggernog, and although they're trying to allow players to use new and different perks within Black Ops 4 and not always have to buy Juggernog, most people just wanted Juggernog back. So it seems like Victor here, if he's referring to that, he's saying, you know, good news to what you're saying. I'm not going to give you too much information, but Juggernog is going to be returning. So I do think with Zombies, just to wrap this up, we'll go through some more Zombies leaks in the future, but for now it seems like the core of Zombies will be the same, and there'll just be new options and new ways to actually play the game. Now, whatever that specifically means, we'll probably see very soon, but hopefully it isn't too different, and hopefully it's the right amount of innovation to keep us going and playing Zombies. So some stuff with multiplayer now. We have multiplayer similar to previous Call of Duty. Do you mean Modern Warfare 2019? And Victor responds, multiplayer has two styles, more vehicles. So we'll talk about that in a second, but someone else asked me a question. Just tell me it's not a camper's paradise and low skill players safe space in it, please. And he responds, campers are inevitable on some maps. Now, the thing is here with multiplayer, I think with that tweet, he's saying multiplayer has two styles, more vehicles. I think what he's getting at here is that multiplayer just is going to have these different game modes. Now, this is better if we go back to the Game Revolutions leak from a month ago, because he talks about the multiplayer info, and there's a lot of different stuff. It seems like there will be the normal 6v6 standard maps, and then the ground war segment of multiplayer will be a lot larger than it is in Modern Warfare. I mean, Modern Warfare ground war is a decent part of multiplayer, but it's not too big of a deal. It's just sort of a playlist. We get a new map every season, and that's pretty much it. But it seems like with COD 2020, they're putting a lot more emphasis on ground war. It seems like they just want to sort of test it out with Modern Warfare 2019. And for COD 20, like the two big portions of multiplayer, at least if we're going with Victor's league, will be the 6v6 portion and the ground war portion. So the Game Revolution had talks about a bunch of different stuff about ground war, 32v32, 5 flags. One of the maps that was leaked is a massive ice map, 2 sides. You have snowmobiles on both sides, tanks. Those are some of the vehicles. And Victor, when he says more vehicles, I'm pretty sure he's referring to the ground war segment of multiplayer, because there's no way they're adding vehicles to normal 6v6 style maps, especially Treyarch 6v6 style maps that are a lot more close quarters, a lot more sort of with the 3-lane style. There's just no way they're adding vehicles to those 6v6 maps. So some more stuff here with the ground war map. He talks about the center of the map being a flat ice frozen lake type of thing. One side is a frozen forest full of different trees with snow and ice, and that could be relating back to the frozen forest from Black Ops 3. And if this storyline is related to the Black Ops series, and like we said again, at least the leaks are saying right now, even if it's not going to be called Black Ops or a Black Ops reboot or Black Ops 5, it could still relate back to the Black Ops series. So that frozen forest definitely could be expanded upon within this game, and it could be hinted at within this ground war map. So very cool to see as well. On the other side of the ground war map, there are bunkers, there's a train, a bunch of different stuff. So that's pretty much the main ground war map there. So very cool to see, and it looks like they will put a lot more emphasis on multiplayer this time around. Some of the other leaks that I want Victor to verify, and we'll see what happens here. Right now, health regen is not automatic. There's actually stim, just like from Black Ops 4, which is a little weird. Not so sure if that's the case right now. Maybe it changed changed in development. There's also a bunch of other 6v6 maps. There's a map set in Vietnam that's going along with the Call of Duty Vietnam theme. Flamethrower kill streak on this map. There's a warehouse map in the middle. There's an open field with a tower to snipe from. No room to camp. So that guy's question about camping, at least this 6v6 map here from the Game Revolutions League, there is no place to camp in that area. I guess that's just at one 6v6 map. Another map in a Russian city, too big, potentially maybe turned into a ground war map. That happens with Modern Warfare a lot. They started off with these large 6v6 maps, and some of them actually were transformed into ground war maps. Anaya Palace, obviously. Some of the kill streaks for COD 2020's multiplayer: UAV, counter UAV, a bomber plane, something that actually shoots bomber planes out and goes to kill any other kill streak in the sky, another dog kill streak, potentially Riley, or just, you know, sort of attack dogs from Black Ops 1. Operators return, no specialists, so they're just doing sort of the Modern Warfare operator skins, and that's most of the stuff, at least for now. It looks like Victor is coming back to bring us more information, and I think within the next couple of weeks, Victor is going to give us some more stuff, and hopefully he goes back to the existing leaks from the Game Revolution or a bunch of the current rumors regarding COD 2020 and either, you know, refutes or verifies a bunch of this different stuff, because he's bringing some good insight, and he, at least in my eyes, is a pretty credible source when it comes to Call of Duty information. So we'll have to see. When we get more, I'll let you guys know, and we'll compile this all together as we add more information to the list of Call of Duty 2020 leaks. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment below zombies if you watched the whole video. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys later.